Why, good morning, you beautiful souls. For those of you in the States, happy 4th of July. I hope you're having a great morning thus far. And we're just going to jump right into it because our theme is liberation. Now, it doesn't really matter what you're seeking to liberate yourself from this morning. It's going to be an opportunity for you to have that release, to tap into that highest truth, and to simply let go and really resonate within your own truth, your pureness, the light of love within you that is you, and to allow that power to shine so bright that everything that you're seeking to enter into, let go of, will manifest. So go ahead and take a nice deep breath in. And it's in this breath and our release and exhale, we simply let go of all the tensions, allow the body to relax, enter into this state of knowing, of love. When you hear the first 3 taps of the bell, with each sound of the ring, take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, transform it into a powerful Om. Give this divine chord your full attention. Allow yourself to enter into this state of knowing, of observation and pureness. Allow all physical sensations, internal and external, to simply be watched. As again, you rest and allow yourself to detach from the temporary states. Any emotion that arises in this process of liberation, of fulfillment, we allow to be, seeing them like clouds passing by, and we are the sky itself. As all thoughts begin to silence themselves, and no matter which ones arise, we simply gaze upon them, just as a dog or a cat would watch birds, squirrels, and various animals through a window. It's with this final tap of the bowl, when you hear it ring, give your full attention to the sound as it comes and goes, and fades into the silence, the stillness, the calm, the peace that is simply being, nothingness itself. Liberation is a concept. We must first come to recognize that in these moments, this practice of simply being, we transcend the conceptual knowledge and understanding of everything, including the understanding of ourselves. For it's the only way we can enter into the realm of the unknown, this opportunistic land of discovery and realization. Allow your mind's eye, allow your heart itself to look upon this avenue in which you seek to liberate yourself from. Whether it be the temporary sufferings, tensions, actions of the past, worries, or simply to level up and go far beyond the constructs that currently limit us in our understanding of ourself and this world. It matters not what you seek liberation from. For the most important knowing in this opportunity we have this morning is to simply recognize that whatever your heart is geared towards, you shall manifest it. But ultimately, liberation comes down to willingness. It comes down to setting down these arms of the intellect of logic, of the past, of our understanding, and opening up into this playfulness again, the curiosity, the realm of entertainment, to simply do that, entertain the infinite possibilities and potentials. For if we do not allow ourselves to will our own beingness into this state of observation, we remain trapped in the same constructs and rooms of past understanding and present perpetual suffering. Ultimately, it's this divine choice in which each of us has the potential and capability, the potential to tap into. As the God and Goddess of creation and manifestation you are, come to recognize that your power knows no bounds. Anything you seek, you can materialize and manifest. However, only when we're open, only when we allow ourselves to experience, do we ever witness such possibilities and potentials. You are the perceiver and the creator of your experience, therefore, you must first recognize liberation starts from within. Each being can experience the same situation, yet come out with entirely different lessons, understandings, and in truth, firsthand experience. Allow yourself to let go of these veils of Maya, these walls, and call them images of misperception and misconception. See nothing. Be still and experience nothingness. Allow the truth to flow through you. You are forever tapped into this divine flow of universal knowledge. So it's so too in this willingness we let go of even expecting answers from the mind. Simply be and allow life to flow through, around, and reward you with the insights, the intuition, the knowledge, these revelatory downloads to move forward in your life, to take the reins again, to liberate yourself fully from that in which you seek in this realm of the heart. Again, come to look, come to build this knowing in your beingness, that in which you seek liberation from. And ultimately, allow this next breath to draw in these vital energies of the ether in which we swim in, to imbue and empower each and every cell. And as you release into that exhale, consciously expel any tensions and negative energies, those seeds of doubt and fear from you, as they simply become reabsorbed into this vast ocean of energy in which we reside in. Continue to take such conscious deep breaths, drawing in the energy and releasing the foreign energies, the negative tensions, the internal doubts and fears. For we can never obtain what we seek when we allow ourselves to be entertained by the temporary. Simply put, go beyond the thoughts, go beyond the emotions, go beyond sensations, for in many aspects of life and experiences, you've already done that. You know what it feels like. You know the experience. We akin it to being in the zone, the flow. But in truth, it's when we become so enamored in whatever it is we focus our attention of the heart towards. We immerse ourselves in that moment of now. This is that letting go. This is that willingness to simply entertain the unknown. Again, for liberation, we must transcend and go beyond concepts. Come to this highest form of knowing in which you've always experienced. And it is just that, experiential knowledge. The mind will hijack temporary failures and shortcomings, which are truth, just lessons guided in many other avenues of life. To this point of realization for yourself, the subtleties of our human experience allow us to enter into the divine knowings that we so often overlook because of their simplicity. Liberation is a choice. It's a willingness of the heart. Let go of everything and simply be, and know that yes, distractions may arise, but they are just that, distractions. Trying to affix your gaze, your conscious affection, your power of awareness away from the goal at hand. Simply being and entering into this state of unknown. It takes nothing, for it radiates from you. Again, allow your chance by giving yourself to this moment. Provide your own opportunity by setting down these arms of conditioning. It's in this moment we allow ourselves to effortlessly be. For liberation is a source of your own being. We obtain this perceived feeling of letting go, of release, of entering into a new. But in truth, it is just like setting down a hot pan. The tensions in which we experienced prior were not because of our own beingness, but because we were holding on to something which caused us pain, limitations, that caused misperceptions, misunderstandings. This is why the ultimate knowing of any form of liberation means a refinement, coming back to what you already are, letting go of what you're not. And there's nothing more powerful in that understanding that you are the truth itself. You are already that in which you seek. But again, recognize the mind, the emotions, and body will attempt to distract you from this. Pay them no attention. Even just the slightest sincere entertainment in this knowing, even if it hasn't been experienced, is all it takes to be that crack in the wall as those boundaries those self made limitations shatter as the conditionings, ancestral traumas, and pains of our past crumble before the truth of your being. Let go. Know that it's okay. Give yourself permission and see how quickly the body responds. For it is the horse in this experience, this journey, traveling through life, and you, pure awareness, divine consciousness, are the rider itself. When you allow yourself in this being of flesh to direct these divine forces towards a given direction, one can say, anything is possible, for it is you, as that divine eternal being of creation you are, imbued with the powers of Source itself, that you can create your own path. When we come to liberate ourselves from these concepts of otherness, from all of these preconceived notions of internal suffering, self sabotage, the veils of misperception, we enter into what is known as simply oneness. It is nothing special in truth, for again, it's what we already are. But the vastness, the grandness of this experience leaves many into the understanding of bliss. It deepens our wells of emotional understanding. But most importantly, it allows us to let go of every temporary fear, doubt, self created roadblock, and embrace the truth of our being, infinite potential and possibilities. Boiling these understandings down, we must come to recognize that liberation is simply letting go of assumption. For assumptions lead to judgment. Judgments lead to preconceived notions of reality, how it should be, rather than you accepting what it is and seeing it for what it is. And life is what you make it became a saying for a reason. Whatever you see, whatever you seek to understand, that will manifest as your existence. Liberation from anything always means we must enter into a new state of understanding and knowing, diving deep into the unknown. So let go of everything you think you know, and allow the greatest teacher, life itself, to support you, to uplift you, to provide these many opportunities of self realization and self mastery. The only thing holding anyone back from any form or concept of liberation and letting go, of transcendence and ascension, is but a thought believed in. Sever these ties and allow the knowings of your heart to radiate and shine through effortlessly. Take a nice deep breath here and simply release it and let go into the stillness. Allow yourself to observe objectively at a distance and simply marinate in the now. When you hear the next tap of the bell, draw on a nice deep breath, filling yourself up with that prana, these vital forces and energies around you, within you. And as each and every cell begins to raise its own vibration by drawing in such love, release it all in a powerful Om, allowing this divine cord to serve as those shears, severing every thread of attachment that you see is holding you back from liberation in which you seek. And give yourself a moment after this Om is chanted to simply marinate in that stillness, that calm, that fourth note in which this divine chord truly has silence. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. And thank you so much for joining me this morning. Don't forget to smash that like. Um, now, it's important to come to recognize that life itself is a gracious gift. And no matter what we experience, everything is grace. When we transcend and go beyond these self created roadblocks and hurdles and limitations of our own understanding, we enter into the knowingness of objectivity. And it's in that state of detachment, of simply observing and experiencing, processing life, that we gain a deeper understanding and clarity from it. Because it's not a, how can it be put? It's not something that's happening to me, it's happening for me. It's not a, it transcends into a happening of everything in which you experience is something that your highest self, your heart, is technically chosen to experience. Because when you see the lessons, when you let go of your own expectations, you transcend suffering. Again, suffering, two sides of the same coin, are assumptions and expectations. And when these two are together, they create this snowballing of misfortune, because our assumptions lead to our judgments. Our judgments lead to these preconceived constructs that we adhere to. Our expectations, they lead to letdowns. And in truth, one can still have direction and not have an expectation. It's just like someone setting their sails for a destination on a boat and knowing that they're going to reach that shore, but they don't know the weather. They don't know how the tides are fully going to act. But if you go expecting and assuming that it's going to be a pleasant ride the whole way through, you're going to have these tensions of panic, fear, doubt, all this other stuff that comes from the egoic spaces and vibrations when the trip's not as serene as you think it is. So, there's there's one question I do want to address. Oh my gosh, that was more of a personal one. Um, and it was from the last Satsang, and the person asked me if I was high. So, to my homie that texted me that, no, I wasn't. I think that's one of the things that people forget is just as much liberation applies to painful things. Liberation applies to this physical realm on so many different notes. And when you're tapped into the flow, when you're sitting meditation is no different than your living meditation. You're always filled up with the forces of love, of light, in which we are. It just shines brighter, and it's that cup overfloweth knowing. So, was I high on any external substance? No. Was I high on life? Yes. Always high on life. You don't need anything to have fun in this experience. Look at children. That's a lot of what this liberation work puts us back in that realm of. It's just being the kids that we are. You're never a grown up. Again, that's just a preconceived notion. This human experience is an amazing playground of opportunity. And the purpose of really the spiritual search is to come back to those innate natural expressions that we had, that we are in our youth, because we're just tapped into it. But the more and more we go through this process of life, the tighter and tighter we grip onto these really just delusions, concepts, conditionings, sufferings. And spirituality is that refinement. It's washing away, it's cutting away, liberating yourself from all of these past assumptions. In truth, that's one of the reasons why it came up in the meditation is assumptions is, the path of confinement, not just physically, but internally. Allow yourself to take a step back, to simply be, observe life for what it's presenting you. It may not always be what you want in the moment, but as anyone who's gone through something, we all know it may seem so overwhelming and intense in that moment. But when we take that 2 year, 3 year, 4 or 5 year step back, we realize, wow, I needed that right then. We're not always aware of things in the moment, but when we allow ourselves to liberate our own understanding of what things should be, how we want them to be, we fail to realize what they're showing us and revealing to us. You have a team of ancestors, guardians, teachers, you know, spirits, angels, whatever you want to identify them as, around you at all times, helping you, uplifting you. Liberate yourself from even the knowings that you are alone right now in this moment, in your sitting down, in your practice of meditation. Go beyond what you know with everything, and that will liberate you from everything. And when we let go of everything, we receive everything. That is the exchange of life. When we really do pour out our cup of finite, limited understanding, we enter into the infinite. And it doesn't matter what you do physically, it doesn't matter what goes down. You're living with a separateness, yet a deep intimacy. It's wild, but again, spirituality is paradoxical at best. Uh, but that's kind of the divine humor that life has. It's pretty funny. So embrace life, enjoy the ride. Don't allow your spiritual development to ever create a new construct and a new limitation on yourself. We're here to experience ourselves. So enjoy this gracious gift of life. None of us are making it out of here alive. That is the one thing that is certain when we are born, is that we are destined for death, but come to understand in the living, in these moments through meditation, that there are levels of liberation that can completely wash away the fear of death because you come into the understanding and experiential knowing that we are eternal beings. So, with that, may the fruit of all knowledge offer a seed, and in that seed may your love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment, for a tree shall grow, and in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all who ask. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. I love you so much. Thanks for tapping in. Happy 4th of July. Today is a day of liberation. So make sure you take some time for yourself to really set out these aspirations of the heart and know in the depths of your being that you will bring them to fruition. It's all a game of perception. You have to see it yourself first for it to come to reality. You have to entertain the unknown. Oh, I love you so much. A this is a powerful one in terms of just application. So marinate in it. Take care. Peace.